Are you recording yet? Welcome, one and all, to another episode of We Talk Combats, where we talk all things combat, sports, and entertainment. I am one of your hosts, King. I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Queen. First up, how are you today, babe?
Muted.
Okay, she might be frozen again, but all right, Travis, let's go to you, bro. How are you feeling today, bro?
Greetings, everyone. Everybody, YouTube land. How's everybody doing?
I can't complain. You still in the 5-second delay?
Except for B.A.
We'll get to that later on. What up, B.A? How you doing today, bro?
What's happening? How's the family? How everybody doing?
Nobody else ever gonna respond, just me. All right, Devin, how are you today, bro?
Understood.
Doing well. You did.
We got hatred.
What up, babe? How are you today, babe?
I'm great. I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
I am great. Thank you so much for asking. I gotta make sure I say ask instead of ask, because they get mad at me on Twitter and all. They're like, why can't you say it? I'm like, well, F you, but it is what it is. If you're new around here, do us a favor, y'all, and hit the subscribe button. I'm sorry, right by Devin's left shoulder. Also hit that like button while you're at it. Hit the notification bell also, so you know whenever we post new content around here, which we do pretty usually every Sunday at least, but sometimes we do a couple shorts that we do produce by the one and only Travito himself. But we're going to get to the highs and lows of this week. We're going to talk about this wrestling WWE week, a little bit of Raw, a little bit of NXT, a little bit of TNA if possible, and some SmackDown as well. By the way, we had a special event this week. It's Wrestlepalooza, the first WWE event on ESPN. Well, not first event, but first PLE on ESPN. We'll get into that as well. But with all else being said, y'all, let's get to the highs and the lows. All right, y'all. WWE this week. We had Raw as normal. We had NXT. It was a regular NXT this week again. We had TNA Impact, which probably none of us have seen. We also had WWE SmackDown on Friday, and we had the PLE of Wrestlepalooza. I really hate saying that. I guess maybe in the future it'll be something that we, regularly say and be like, okay, Wrestlepalooza. But as of now, it sounds very gimmicky, and maybe that's for a reason. But if you didn't watch Wrestlepalooza, spoiler alert, Brock Lesnar has destroyed John Cena again for the third time. He's beaten him, destroyed him basically in 3 different decades, as you can see. Shout out to WrestleMania, I believe, for this photo. Also, the Usos take the L to Braun Breaker, but the bigger news maybe that Jey Uso ended up giving himself concussion maybe with the steel chair after hitting Braun Breaker and giving himself quite a bit of color. It was pretty rough. It's like, geez. And after the match, I saw Jimmy was pretty worried about his bro, so I hope everything's okay with Jay, but I think he is entering concussion protocol. We had a Stephanie Vec here. She won the vacant WWE Women's World Championship from EO Sky. CM Punk and AJ Lee were victorious against the team of Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. And lastly, which was moving to the main event spot, you had Cody Rhodes retaining his WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. So we'll go across the panel and get everybody's not recap of each show, but just highs and lows of the week, and also a letter grade for their overall week from every show they've seen. So we'll start with you first, babe. What were your highs and lows of WWE event this week, and what's your overall letter grade?
So, I would say that Wrestlepalooza was kind of wrestling snoozer. It had its high moments. I thought it was going to be excellent because it started really on a high note. Like, I thought the promos and everything were good. But like you said, we saw John Cena lose again. and we saw Cody Rhodes come to take the title again. It would have been really nice to see Drew Mac leave with the title, but I guess that Triple H had other plans, unfortunately. I also felt like during the week, the shows were kind of like how usual. If we know we have a PLE coming, the shows are kind of geared towards the PLE. So we saw John Cena, inflate everything in Massachusetts. He was so happy to be home and talk about how this was going to be the time he was going to take down Brock and da da da. Yeah, we didn't see that. We didn't see him take down Brock. That is going to sound dark, but that was probably my highlight. I don't know what it is about watching the little kids when they cry. I think it's watching like their version of watching their heroes be destroyed, but also that moment of, we know in a few years they're going to find out that wrestling is scripted. But they still are in that point where everything that they're seeing is extremely real. And even as like an old fan, I kind of miss that feeling of knowing that it really could be this or that, or things could be different than you expect. But somebody had to take Naomi's title, obviously, because she had to leave for her impending bundle of joy that'll be here in a few months. But Stephanie, she put on a good show. I actually thought it was actually one of the better shows that EO has had as well this year. We know when EO had the title, she barely defended it. So we'll see what Stephanie does with it. We'll see if they end up putting her in the background for a few months. But overall, I'll probably give the PLE. I'm gonna actually give it a B minus. It was actually mostly watchable, but it definitely wasn't WrestleMania quality like they built it. And during this week, as far as other shows, I would probably put them under the same thing as whenever we have a PLE, they're just going to be a build up to that. So I'll leave it there.
You muted, but I'm assuming Travis
Give
is
me a
next.
second, but Queen, I didn't get that because I can't hear you guys. I'm going to technical difficulties, but I know you said your piece. Travis, give me your highs and lows of this week's wrestling, and also your letter grade, bro. While I figure this out.
Okay, so basically, this whole entire week for me has been pretty much mid, like from Raw to NXT to SmackDown and
Is
to
he frozen?
WrestlePalooza. No, I should be frozen. So basically, Raw, you had of course, your Kyrie Sane
His
moment
screen is
that I
frozen, but his
still,
audio is not.
it's still my favorite moment throughout the whole week. I'm the Grace of Wall effect when they announced the big title match. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm starting to hate to see Finn Balor on my television. Alexis King, like that. I think that's something that I hate more than Finn Balor now. Like, what is this facial hair shape up, all that stuff? Like, that's trash. Wrestlepalooza, I felt like the best match on Wrestlepalooza was basically for the women, the EO Sky and Stephanie match. That was pretty good. And AJ Lee, CM Punk, Becky Lynch, and Seth Rollins. That came a close second. But I'm just looking forward to next week as far as like wrestling and everything going on with that. So I'm basically looking forward to what's that? The triple threat match on SmackDown and the big match on NXT this week.
You're still muted, King. I guess we'll move on to BA.
All right. So with this week, I think this week was pretty cool. I think Raw was trash. Besides John Cena's great promo as he normally does. Then you had a little interaction with the mixed tag, a preview for that. So that was cool. I'm just kind of tired as a whole of the Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, some version of the Usos. And I mean, like, it's wearing thin for me. Like, it's the same thing. It's just different people, different parts, but it's the same thing over and over again. So, but that leads me to NXT Homecoming, right? And that was definitely different. So, I thoroughly appreciated that. I love the tag between DIY and Miz and Trick. I think that was excellent. I like the the women's triple threat tag at the end. That was cool. The six woman tag. They all showed out. I even like the interactions between Triple H and Shawn Michaels and William Regal. So NXT pretty much was pretty awesome, given everything that was there. And shout out to Joe Hendry. Moving forward with SmackDown, SmackDown was cool. I like to see Brock dominant, and he was dominant. Corey Graves, shout out to Corey Graves. One of the, I don't remember Corey Graves as a wrestler, but he was basically one of the best sellers of the F5 I've seen in quite some time. Like he took that on his stomach, pause, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. Most wrestlers they kind of go on their side to take that bump. No, Corey caught it flat. I was like, and he did it twice. So shout out to Corey Graves. I thought that was a good spot. I am not for R-Truth being a company seller of ESPN. That was trash. That was absolutely god awful. The US title, that was a good match. I just don't like the outcome, but it was a good match. I don't like the fact that it took one little whatever his move is in the not even a hula kick. It's just the driver joint. I was like, that's it, Mello. Like that. I don't like the booking of Mello. I digress. Moving forward. Okay, so we talked about the PLE. Everybody talked about the PLE. The PLE was cool. It wasn't the best. It was trash. I'm not gonna lie. So with the Cena versus Brock match, shout out to the kids. Clearly Brock said F those kids. But at the same time, we seen the domination when John Cena was peak, when John Cena was prime. We seen the domination. We seen that kind of a match. So it's nothing that was like different. Like we seen it. Like, so why would you bring it back for this? I understand that Brock does look, he's in phenomenal shape, pause. Like for him to be close to the same age as Cena, like he's in phenomenal shape. But they could have still had him dominate. Just add like extra 2 minutes to it. Bring out R-Truth, just because he had F5'd him. Bring out Sami Zayn just to anyone that he had F5 before in the recent past, they just came out just for this particular event. Not even to interfere, just to say like, come on, Cena, just to add something else to this match because we've seen him get dominated before. So I had issues with that.
Is this going to be his last one with Brock, you think?
No, they'll probably fight. They'll definitely fight again. He's not going to end off, getting dominated like that. So they'll find some way for him.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, that's kind of a weak ending if that's going to be the last time that they fight.
That's right. They might even do that crown jewel. But the Usos and the Bronze, LA Knight was a special guest referee. He didn't do enough for me to be memorable as a special guest referee, so I have issues with that. And that's just the Cody match was trash. It was a regular match, man. So shout out to Stephanie. That's what I said in the chat. I'm glad that Naomi is pregnant and she had to get that belt up because I honestly think they was going to get the belt to Steph anyway, some kind of way. I honestly thought that Stephanie Valkyrie was going to get that belt, and I don't like it. I think she's due, but it's on the early side. Like, let her go through a couple more wars or something, some type of rivalry or something. Jade ain't get the belt yet. Like, what's going on here? Like, things are just going in different directions. I'm not even for it. Like, it's I'm just not a fan of it. But I knew she was going to end up winning, so she got the belt, raised it up high. Where was Asuka? Where was that lead up into this match? It was nothing. Like, they just said, y'all two fight. She won clean, but it was just like, come on, like, add the drama some kind of way. They ain't got to interfere, but add the drama. There's no story. They were lacking story. So all in all, I'm gonna give it if it wasn't for NXT and NXT being a great program this week, this would have been even lower. But I'm gonna go with a C+. NXT saved it from going to a D/F.
All right, Devin, I'm back. We got a C+, you said, from you, B.A, correct? Okay, Devin, what's your highs and lows of this week's wrestling, and what's your overall at a grade?
So I want to give an honorable mention and a shout out to Adam Copeland. before last week or whatever week it was with John Cena and Sami Zayn having their match, John Cena did his basically his spear, paying homage to Edge, the Edge character. This past week, Adam Copeland did the same in return for John Cena doing his 5-knuckle shuffle and doing the attitude adjustment during his match. I love the fact that the audience, you can't see me as he was doing it. I love the fact that they had that interpromotional kind of nod to each other. So hope to see more of that down the road. Just brings more attention to the fact that the toxicity and the tribalism is really just with the fans, the IWC, the companies, whatever they're going to do, they're going to work the way they work. But I just love to see that nod that they did for each other. Congratulations to Stephanie Vaquer. I am glad to see that she's progressing. Shout out to her for doing interviews nowadays and only speaking English for 10 months at this point. But the overall score that I give for this week, I'm really going to focus on Wrestlepalooza, and that's my score for this week. Everything else was just forgettable to me. I don't really even care about Raw and SmackDown this week. Besides the fact that Brock Lesnar came out in F5 Corey Graves and walked Michael Cole around the ring like a kid. He carried him on his shoulder the whole time, did a lap. So that was the memorable moment during the week. The PLE, Brock did look like a tank. He looked like a freaking unit. He was a berserker that whole match, and that was crazy. It looks like he's never looked like this, or he looks better than he's ever looked before. I don't know if it was the 8K camera, if they had that coming out for Stu, or what, but he looked crazy. So I'm sure that they're not going to have their feud in this way, but I mean, he fought like he looked in that match. Congratulations to AJ Lee and CM Punk. I'm happy to see AJ back. I did miss her character and her personality. I'm glad to see they won. I love to see the moments that they're having with each other. I definitely hope that we get more chances for other couples that are in WWE to have those type of moments and also to show their love, so to speak. Doesn't have to be cheesy or corny or anything like that, but just those stares that they have with each other to show the fact that they're paying attention to each other. I just love that interaction that they had. And other than that, everything else was forgettable. So my grade for the week is an L. Oh, but I am looking forward to the next step that they do with. Well, I'll say that for the T.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I couldn't hear everybody's grade. I got an L from you, Devin. I got a C+ from B.A. Queen, Travis, what were your grades again?
I gave it a C-.
Okay. Queen. Uh-oh. Anybody else? Can they tell me what Queen gave? Here you go, Queen. You're back. What do you say? I can't hear. Am I gone again?
I thought she gave it a.
Okay. Did she give it, Travis?
It was a B. It was a B- for me.
A B-.
B-.
Okay. All right. So a B-, a C.
Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me
yes,
now.
I can
Okay,
hear you.
all right, cool.
A B-, a C-, a C+, and an L, right? All right. I'm gonna give it a C this week. I'm gonna give it a C. Peaks and valleys. Raw, forgettable. NXT, like you said, BA, awesome show. I thought they had some type of event. When I was talking about it earlier, did they have an event this week? They did. So it's fine with that. I thought the whole homecoming show was pretty cool. Only issue I thought Sean actually booked an incredible show. Actually, the only issue I had with the show is having Rhea Ripley go over on JC Jane at the end. I didn't understand why JC Jane would take the pin to Rhea Ripley and all people. Like, they had other people. It was 2 other people in the match, but that's neither here nor there. But other than that, I thought it was an incredible match. Even Mello and them getting the victory over DIY. Which takes me to SmackDown. I didn't like that Mello took the L. He had a good match. I didn't think he was going to win. I thought the Miz was going to interfere, but they said Mia said that he asked him not to interfere, and I'm like, damn. I think the part of him winning with that driver, BA, was that he hit like a mini or a kind of version of the haluva kick before. Like he kind of caught him like close to him. He's running towards him and then put him in it as well. Maybe. Like I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. You feel me? Like maybe that was what it was. But
I give it. Yeah. I can't say that didn't happen. So you're right.
Feel me?
Yeah,
So it's like maybe he ran into
like,
one instead of being in the corner,
and then
so
he
he
did
had
it
to put him in
right
that
back,
as well.
and then he did a move.
Yes, with that to be the double whammy to beat him. That's what I'm going with, but who knows? But yeah, SmackDown it was good to me. Brock Lesnar, that beginning segment, I thought was awesome. To start a show like that, it's been a second since I've seen a show begin with just chaos and all. I thought that was pretty cool. Brock just coming in and just destroying folks. It didn't really build to the story because we didn't see Cena save the day or nothing like that, or somebody just so that is what it is. Yeah, but once we get to the main thing, it's Wrestlepalooza. Cena and Brock. So here's my thing. I wasn't mad with Cena and Brock at the beginning when it first happened, as far as the squash again, because I think they're going to wrestle again at Crown Jewel. I think Cena's next date is at Crown Jewel. So there's no. Knowing Paul, though, he don't need a story to build a match or make a match. So maybe you get Cena as someone else. But I'm thinking because he doesn't have an appearance until Crown Jewel, that they'll run it back at Crown Jewel. You might get a Brock Lesnar appearance or so, and one of the guys, the general managers and all, tell them they talked to Cena, and Cena will get another match at Crown Jewel, whatever that could be. That. So I was fine with it. I thought the show actually started off awesome. Like it gave me that. It made me feel like a kid a little bit, like the montage at the beginning. You feel like the promo by Triple H, the pyro, the saying this is on ESPN. I'm like, all right, you know what? We about to show the casuals for ESPN what WWE really is about and all. And
shout out to Paul Heyman too.
Yeah, shout out to Paul Heyman. Yep, all of that was it was awesome. Even the Usos coming out and all. Feel me? After that, like 10 all show off, and then nothing else really happened. Even though there were weapons in the Usos in the match, nothing was like, oh my goodness, this is a ridiculous spot or anything like that. I actually liked LA Knight as a referee. I thought he did some funny things. You called that. It wasn't really necessary, but they had to throw LA Knight in there, I guess. It's ironic that Jey Uso would hit himself in the head with the chair, hitting Braun Breaker and injure himself. Like, this is just, I didn't feel like the Browns looked any more dominant in this match, really. I know they won and all that, but like, I don't know, man. Are they even a part of the division anymore? Are they still with Seth? Who knows? I don't know what's going on with that. Like, it's just questions for no reason. So that was my thing with the Usos match. Stephanie, I was fine with Stephanie. I'm a Stephanie fan. I didn't want her to beat Naomi, but now, like you said, the Naomi was out and it vacated the title. I was cool with her winning. I didn't want Io to win it again because Io just had one of the worst reigns ever. You feel me? Before then, so it's like, why just throw the belt back on? If it's between them two, let her get a victory. It was fine. They're gonna skyrocket her. This also shows me that Paul Levesque can skyrocket Trick Williams once he comes here. From what he's done in NXT and all that, she was a double champion in NXT. Trick Williams been in. Like, it's all up to Paul Levesque what he wants to do. So we'll see. That's what I'm saying. It's up to him. But I was fine with Stephanie. Stephanie's one of the best workers on the women's card, just in general, as far as just the general workers. I think she's, like you said, Devin, she's been working on her English. She wants to be able to speak English and do promos in English when she's in America and all that type of stuff, which is pretty cool. So kudos to her for that, her wrestling ability. I don't think this match was as good as everybody's giving it or saying it is. I think the issue is that it was just around a bunch of trash, that it was the best match on the card. And everybody saying, "Oh, this match is incredible." It was technical and all that stuff like that. The ending was awesome. What Stephanie doing, her moving on. But I just thought, I don't think it was as great as people trying to put it out. Like, Io's had some better matches this year than this match. So, CM Punk and AJ Lee and them, that was forgettable to me, y'all. I ain't gonna front. I know people love AJ Lee and all that stuff. I thought AJ Lee, her selling and all was awesome. Like, she didn't miss any time. I thought her offense was hit and miss. Like, doing her moves and all, her finishes were cool. Her punches were trash, though. I don't know what was going on. We talked about Becky Lynch and her hitting and all that stuff before CM Punk. I don't know what the hell she was doing. She was painting them or hitting them with a paintbrush. I'm like, what is she throwing right now? But that was pretty bad. But yeah, this was forgettable to me. I didn't need to see this at all. This was definitely a Raw match. Hopefully they split them up and we can get over this. I know they wanted to wrestle. This was like fun for the workers. So I'm glad they had fun. We move on. AJ and CM Punk got the victory. And lastly, I don't even care about this main event. They put it on the main event just to showcase Cody Rhodes as their guy because it was originally probably going to be the opener of Cena and Brock, which may have been better if Cena and Brock was the main event. It may have been better with them destroying, like having the kids crying and all that stuff going off like that. This is so predictable. You don't know what's illegal, what's legal in WWE. Kicking a guy through the table is now illegal. So, like, the ref jumps in front. I don't know what's going on, man. It just does not make sense to me. Cody Rhodes is so not over to me. He's the most not over guy that they try to say is over. I just don't understand it. They keep trying to show proof, but I just don't see it.
Cody has plot armor. That's what the referee jumping in front of Drew. Plot armor in a regular story.
It's just, bro, just change the story up. Like, change it up. There it is. It's Cody Rhodes now and all. They destroyed Drew McIntyre. Like, I'm over this. It went off. No special effect. Paul Levesque has gotten us again. This was all to just counteract AEW. You feel me? At the end of the day, this was trash. This didn't change. This was not like a special show. We didn't get any special appearances. Nothing happened at all, bro. Like, and they charged people $30 for this.
Well, wait a minute. We do have a special appearance. This is what they'll say. Well, you didn't expect the Undertaker to come out, did you? Well, that was a special appearance. You want a special announcement? You didn't expect Stephanie to get there.
Whose favorite version of Undertaker? Whose favorite version of Undertaker American Badass?
Is the Kid Rock one?
Whose favorite? Whose favorite version? Whose favorite version of Undertaker is that? So,
not mine.
Yeah. Okay. So
it brought us the last ride if that matters.
Okay. Go ahead, Deb.
They overpromise and underdeliver. That's
all the time, man. And then charge you $30 for this. Like, this was Saturday night's main event.
That's all it was. Saturday's night main event, just
for
different.
$30 on ESPN with more pyro. This was Saturday night's main event. This was trash. This was a throwaway. This ain't no WrestleMania Part 2, SummerSlam Part 2. They better not make this a 2-night event. This was trash. $30 they charge people for this.
I didn't even spend the $30 on money back.
I will. Wrestling will get Pirates of the Caribbean from me from this point on, man. This is trash. This is product. They are saying F me. So I got to look at them and say, I like my other movie. You feel me? Like, I don't like these. I don't like wrestling right now. And as I told B.A, like off the screen and all, I talked to him in the group. Trick Williams, I told y'all that's it. If he's not pushed, B.A, I'm done. I have nothing else to look forward to in wrestling. Nothing.
You gotta shout out to Javon, man. He's still
bro. Javon like 20 years old, bro. It could be 10 years before he show up in WWE. It could be 10 years before he's not showing the Javon promo game and all ain't at that level yet to him to be in WWE. And that's not a knock to him. He's young. You feel me? Like he should be. He's beyond where he should be right now. But you feel me? He's not. Come on, man. Like, nah. This is ridiculous. And Javon stays where he is, they're gonna use him as a toy. They're gonna have him being thrown around and all. Like his highlights are gonna be him doing the stuff that he's doing now in the NXT or whatever, as far as getting thrown around and all. That's what they're gonna use powerhouses like Braun Breaker and all to do certain moves on him. And it's like, oh my goodness, he can take that spot. Kind of like Ricochet and all that, right? Come on, man. Mm-hmm. We know what's about to happen. So I can't do this. I'm done. He's the last guy. He's been multiple champions, different organizations and all. If they can skyrocket, Stephanie, you feel me, and other people we see, they should be the skyrocket trick. He should be out the door competing for a championship. If it doesn't happen, then I have nothing to believe in. It's just whatever this era is. And that's going to segue to a point we get to later on. But, yeah, man, I'm going to give it a C. Shout out to NXT. Shout out to SmackDown for being okay this week. But, like, this show was trash. Wrestlepalooza, this was dookie. They charge people $30 for this, man. That first thing saying it's ESPN and all. They don't care, bro. They're done. They're done with us. We are not the fans they care about anymore. I don't know. It's just a certain demographic of people that got money with their children and all that type of stuff. It's not for us.
It's not for them either.
It ain't really, but they don't know they don't know any better.
Their focus is on how to maximize the dollar.
They got guys like people in ESPN that we're gonna get to later on that probably don't know nothing about wrestling. They want them to go show up to these events now and be show their face so they can say stuff and all. They have no clue about these characters and all. So yeah, it's a good show when you have no clue about the characters. They're looking at it as if the WWE is AAA, like the way we look at AAA. So we like, you don't need to know a storyline. You just see stuff and it's like, oh, that's entertaining. It's my first time I've been to this event and this is funny and this is fun. This is a circus. We invest our like time and all into this like a soap opera. So it's like, you know how soap opera's been on for like decades and all. It's like, yeah, you watch that, you have your characters that you gravitate towards, you think of these stories and all that, and they're like, we don't care about you anymore. There's no
So
story.
you gotta be
This
careful.
What you mean, B.A.?
No, you gotta be careful with that because what you just said was spot on. Like you're right. They do think of it as we think of a AAA, but when you start to have no story based background, then you might turn over to AEW. AEW has good product. They're terrible at everything else around.
They're terrible with the stories. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So
the matches are there. AEW. Yep.
I might go over to AEW. Why wouldn't I if I'm not invested in the storyline?
As I keep yelling, bro, I'm gonna keep yelling this. AEW is one wrestler away. One wrestler away from really being that dude. Like, so if there's no new wrestler that's big right now, really arguably, like guys like MJF are bigger than any of Triple H's new talent. No disrespect. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if Triple H's new boys and all that stuff, MJF is probably bigger than all of them. Like, and that is kind of a knock to WWE. It shouldn't be that way, but it is what it is. But as far as the guys, they don't have him in WWE. There's no guy where Cody Rhodes is already in AEW. CM Punk was just not going to change it. Let John Cena have went and said, you know what, I'm having my last run at AEW. WWE would have been in trouble. Let Roman Reigns have said, hey, y'all want to take my money away, I'm going to go to AEW. WWE would have been in trouble. WWE is one wrestler away, and they don't realize it. And that's the part that's where I'm like, they're stuck in the short term instead of the long term. These fans that you're going to as the casuals don't last. You don't build for casuals. Casuals don't last. You build for the hardcore fans, pause. You feel me? And you're distancing the hardcore fans away from your product. So the casuals aren't going to care. They're going to be here for the second watch, the flavor of the week. But then once this is done and over and we got to worry about NFL, I'm going to go watch the NFL now because I'd rather watch the NFL than WWE. So this is ugly business. Like I said, I don't know if it's to get them out of the debt. I do not know. And that's part of the problem with it. I don't know the final outcome. Like, what is their plan? Is their plan to just be greedy forever? Is their plan to just get out of debt and then? But I think they got in debt by just taking investments to further invest into themselves to just make their money get out of debt. Like, that's what's going to happen eventually again. They're going to be in an even bigger debt because they're going to make the company even bigger and then they're going to pay that off. I don't think it's going to get to a point where they're going to stop and say, oh, it's done. But I don't want to go on a rant myself. It's just, I'm done. If Trick Williams is not that dude, I'm done. I'm done with the WWE. Like, I will watch the highlights. I will lead this show as far as a charge and be the host of it. Let you guys talk. But as far as my overall opinion, you won't even really want to know because I think the product, you shouldn't be watching it. That's the point I'm going to get to. So we'll see with Trick Williams. I don't want him to be there for 2 more years enough in BA. I really don't want him to be in the Royal Rumble. If he's not a Royal Rumble, I'm disappointed. That's how I feel. So it is what it is. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to give it an overall C. I really wanted to give it lower than that and go D. But like I said, NXT was awesome and SmackDown wasn't a bad show. So, but this PLE is trash, man. Really should get an F for this PLE alone.
The fact that they charged $30 for a PLE and still had ads on it should tell you everything you need to know about it.
Shut up. Also, while you're at it, before we go on to the next segment, y'all do us another favor. I forgot to say it earlier. Follow us so We Talk Combat Clips as well, y'all. We have condensed versions of these shows and the shorts. Yeah, we try and get our member counts over there. We see we're growing a little bit. So help us out over there. Hit the subscribe button. Just do us a little favor, especially if you're over here already. But Travis, before we move on to the next segment, what were the highs and lows brought to us by?
By the good people of Fanatics.
Yes, sir.
This I Was Told segment is brought to you by the folks over at Fanatics. Fanatics is the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love the most, including WWE. You can earn fan cash to redeem them in your orders, jersey protection for when your favorite player is traded or changes teams. They also have an unrivaled selection of authentic fan gear and Fanatics exclusives that are only available on the site. So if you need some merch and are interested in helping the channel, Scan the QR code on the screen or follow the link, which is always in the description.
Man, hit up Fanatics if you're looking to buy any of the new apparel. I know they got new Brock merchandise, maybe some Stephanie Vaquer merchandise. Anything you're trying to buy, man, if you're a WWE fan. I know times are rough right now and their stuff is very expensive, but if you are one of those fans that they dictate towards or gravitate towards, maybe you should go through our website and help us out if you could as well. But let's get to the wrestling tea, y'all. We got a little bit to talk about. All right, y'all. First and foremost, pretty early. This is what, September? WrestleMania is March, maybe April. But Stephanie McMahon was supposedly surprised as she was the first announced inductee of the 2020, I guess it'd be 2026 WWE Hall of Fame. So, what you guys, I guess, quick opinion on this? How you feel? You think she really was surprised? Blase. Just give a quick opinion, please.
I think she was surprised. She did. You know, we've seen plenty of different smiles from Stephanie, from her real show to her backstage stuff to her coming up through the system. She had I think a genuinely surprise look because the nose was scrunched up in a different way. If we know what Stephanie looks like from time to time, and Undertaker will be the one to deliver that message. She's very close with him. And there's only a few other wrestlers that she's like that close with. But does she deserve it? Yes. There's no question. She put her body out there on the line, and she put her body out there to be talked about as well. And she took that with a smile. She had to deal with some of the things that her father wanted her to do. So we're not going to go too far on that. But she was asked to do some crazy stuff. And then on top of that, just her involvement in women's wrestling. She definitely spearheaded that version of it to what we see today. So I do give her respect, and she kind of quote unquote founded John Cena when John Cena was going through that. I'm about to get fired. You got to do something different. And she heard him rapping in the back of a bus, like, "Yo, can you do that on air?" And he was able to do that. And the next thing you know, you got Dr. Thugonomics. So word of life, it's basic. So all in all, I have issues with Stephanie on some other fronts, but just her being in wrestling and what she did, it's definitely deserving.
Do you let me ask y'all a question real quick, and then everybody else can give their opinion. Two-part question. It's a should and will, right? Okay. Should Shane McMahon be in the Hall of Fame? Will Shane McMahon be in the Hall of Fame?
Probably not.
Ooh.
To me, a double yes. If it took this long for Stephanie, then it might take a little bit longer for Shane. But Shane definitely got his highlights and everything like that. And so yes, although he had issues with his father, although he had issues with Steph, although he had issues with WWE, although he tried to do his own thing, all those things are correct. But at the end of the day, we all know what wrestling is, and Shane definitely helped in a certain way. So shout out to Shane.
Travis, you got something you want to say?
That was a yes. Double yes for me too. Also,
yeah, I feel like
Shane deserves
my thing always with like Hall of Fames is if you can't tell a story of whatever, basketball, football, wrestling, whatever, without them, then they should probably be in the Hall of Fame. So, all right. Let's move on to the next bit.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yes, go ahead, Trev.
Do you think she's supposed to be like the actual headline of the whole class?
She might
Or
be.
You think it's gonna be somebody else?
I gotta hear the rest, but so far it's looking like I'm thinking Stephanie.
You think she's gonna be the headliner? Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think so. With her being this early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is stupid early. They did this just for ESPN.
Well, they might not know when the next time Stephanie is going to be in a live event. Stephanie's not required to be there anymore. So if she's here, hey man, let's take this segment, go in on, let's do it right now. So,
but couldn't they do it on our podcast though?
She would know it's coming. So you take the surprise away.
Not really. Not if she's interviewing the person that's
not really.
Yeah, and they just say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always feel like there's a card up the sleeve when they deal with Paul Levesque and the McMahons and all that. So I don't know. I take everything with a grain of salt as far as them not knowing and it being this early and being on ESPN and all that stuff. I just feel like you didn't know.
They definitely took advantage of the moment, but they have some type of inner game between them, between the 5, 6 of them, trying
So
to
Stephanie
embarrass the other person.
Stephanie may not have known to like yesterday. I think Triple H knew though. I think Triple H probably did it.
Triple H knew. Yeah.
And I think Triple H knew he was going in last year. How about that one? I do believe Triple H knew last year he was going in.
Yeah. I think so.
Speech and all that.
I would think that it was like a problem. Like Triple H, you probably going in this year. He's like, yeah,
I think they sat down and talked about it, knowing Triple H and seeing Unreal and all that stuff. Come on, man. This is Triple H we saw. We see Unreal and all that. Triple H
put
himself in the Hall of Fame.
Who's in every year? So
Triple H, he part of it.
Yeah, so he would have to know that.
I mean, they had somebody else surprise him.
And I think that Shane.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If Shane does make it in the Hall of Fame, I think it's going to be posthumously. I don't really see them putting him in it, and he's alive to witness it.
Okay, so let me go last question then. I mean, we'll move on to this other topic. Same question, same 2 questions, Vince McMahon.
Same answer.
Yes and yes, but just not while you're alive.
Not while he's alive.
Okay.
They're not going to let him go up there and make any type of speech.
I think I agree 100%. I think you could actually play the waiting game for Vince, and within his age, that pause, like you could go anytime within the next 10 years.
Could Vince compete with the WWE right now?
What do you mean? Like if he had his own
if Vince actually had his own company right now, knowing Vince and how he deals with storylines and all that stuff, man.
Yes,
I think so too, bro. I think if Vince actually, in the way WWE is making him a babyface, if Vince has a company and makes it and does it and get a name or get some names that actually follow Vince,
in this treacherous world of wrestling,
it could work.
You know how this go. Like Vince signed Eric Bischoff. Like it's cutthroat like that. So AEW should talk. They should be the ones talking to Vince. You don't think
really should.
You just say it just take one guy, right? You don't think one of these statues, one of these people that one of these fans of Vince's that Vince put them on, so on and so forth, that they owe everything they have to Vince. They won't start generating themselves over there.
I would damn near put money. I would damn near put money that both Cena and Roman would go to AEW if Vince McMahon was in charge.
I agree.
Too.
Yeah, I think both of them, they may not like do WWE dirty, but once their contract is over, they would sign something and go over there to AEW for Vince and show up.
And that's the start of it. That Roman goes now. Let's just say let's talk about it. If Roman goes down, that's their Hulk Hogan equivalent to WCW.
Yeah,
WCW got Hogan, and then they was like, well, if Hogan over there, well, I might as well take a chance to go over there, so on and so forth. And then it don't take much. It just take a spark. And next thing you know, you got the outsiders.
And most of them dudes already know. It ain't even Eric Bischoff. A lot of dudes didn't trust Eric Bischoff. A lot of these dudes already trust Vince McMahon.
So it don't take much.
And as you put it earlier, Vince could be that one name.
Yeah.
I
think Vince is. If I'm hearing rumblings and all that about Vince, if Vince really comes back in the WWE, to wrestling and makes his own thing and all that, I think he could actually compete, especially in this day and age and this time, with the WWE, and the WWE is making him out to be a babyface.
What if he went to AEW?
That's what we said earlier. If he went to AEW, that'd be major. That would change AEW. That would be their Eric Bischoff. You feel me? Shoot, and even beyond that, they get Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan at the same time because Vince McMahon is still arguably the biggest villain of all time, which WWE is making it to a face. That's crazy. So let's move on, though. Stephen A. Smith, real quick, gave his top 5 on his Stephen A's list. Top 5 wrestlers of all time. He had number 5, the Road Warriors. Even though Hulk isn't on the picture, it's just Animal and Paul. What is it? Paulie E. That's what I call him. Freaking The Rock, number 4. Hulk Hogan, number 3. Ric Flair, number 2. And Goldberg is number 1. How you guys feel about this list?
It's his list. He can have it. I don't agree with it at all.
I don't agree with it at all. I just agree with one spot of his. That's it. Then that's just Hogan.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
fine.
I don't
I'm
know. It
fine.
just looks like somebody that doesn't watch wrestling really. He just picked people that he's seen before.
I'm fine with. So you know what? These are like favorite wrestlers. I get you. He made it like the best wrestlers of all time and all. Like these some of the most popular wrestlers of all time. If we just talk about his favorites,
You know, so
yeah. But
Rock is
if
on
he's
people's
talking the
Mount
best,
Rushmore.
I think he's talking about the best wrestlers of all time, though, like the greatest wrestlers he was talking about. Which I'm like, what? Huh?
But this,
Yeah, 2 of those spots should be vacant right now.
Yeah, there's no way Goldberg and the Road Warriors. Like I said, they're popular and all, but they're not no greatest wrestlers of all time.
But
no matter how you put it.
People do say like who's the greatest tag team? Then the people say
it ain't Road Warriors no more.
So
Back in the day, in that old era, it was the Road Warriors. You're right.
So if you want to say,
now,
if
though.
you want to hold that in reference, it might be like, yo, I still think the Road Warriors are the best tag teams that ever did it, so they get a spot on the top 5 as a
Are
unit.
the Road Warriors a greater tag team than New Day?
It's hard to get past that nostalgia, bro. Yes,
I wouldn't say they are. I don't think they are.
Man, the move.
Are Road Warriors? How about the Usos? How about the Usos?
No, if you telling me I put Road Warriors and the Usos together in a match, the Road Warriors coming out on top.
Road Warriors
What
are
a
probably
rush.
going to win that because that win-loss record is probably going to be better.
It probably would not in the WWE though.
No, this is for everything. This is for
No,
all.
so in the WWE, it's kind of. I don't count. I don't care that Cody Rhodes is the ROH champion. I don't care. I don't care that Cody Rhodes is the AEW champion. I don't care. What did you do when you get to the big boys? That's what I care about, not the minor leagues.
See, but
Road
at that
Warriors
time,
they weren't them dudes in WWE.
Way out.
Steiners weren't them dudes in WWE. No, they were there before. Remember, they left and came back. They were there with Wembley Stadium and all that.
Yes, they was hot though. It wasn't like they was hot,
but they didn't get over like that. As far as Vince McMahon didn't put them over. I'm just saying, as far as the Usos, Road Warriors, they up there. They're one of the most popular tag teams of all time. But I'm not like they're not, to me, for sure, the best tag team of all time.
That's tough. I think a lot of people have them still. People can't get
you
past
think a lot of younger wrestling. You think a lot of younger wrestling fans call the Road Warriors the best tag team of all time?
I think a lot of the older ones do. And
okay, that's what I'm saying. You think a lot of the younger folks do though.
The younger ones don't even remember the Usos being the tag team anymore. Well, how young we talking?
Yeah, they do.
How young we talking?
Them kids know the Usos and all. They still be yelling. You just saw them combine. You just saw them come out with the nostalgia music and stuff, and they went off.
They look alike. That's all they remember. They don't remember the wars they've been in.
I think it's a generational kind of answer.
What wars have the Road Warriors been in?
Say it again.
What wars have the Road Warriors been in?
Don't matter.
Are you saying with each other?
Oh, get the hell out of here! Come on, but y'all don't remember this, but get that. All right, man, let's move.
The aura, those red shoulder pads with the spikes is all they need. That's all they need.
They know for messing up. They know for messing up Dusty Rhodes' eye, right?
Hey, things happen.
All right, y'all. Before we get to the end of the show and the questions and comments, first and foremost, if you're interested in leaving a question or comment for us and want us to read it on the stage, hit us with the @WTC in the comments so we know you're talking to us, and we'll get to your comments a little later. But lastly, I wanted to go through the eras of wrestling. We have 9 different eras right here, y'all. So for the podcast listeners, we have the Golden Era, led by Hulk Hogan, the New Generation Era, which has Shawn Michaels on the picture, but it should have Bret Hart, the Attitude Era ran by Steve Austin, Ruthless Aggression Era ran by Brock Lesnar, the PG Era ran by John Cena, the Reality Era ran by Daniel Bryan, the Thunderdome Era ran by Drew McIntyre, the New Era ran by Roman Reigns, and the Renaissance Era, which is currently ran by Cody Rhodes. And I want each person on the panel to go around and rate 1 through 9 each one of these eras. And I'm going to start, I guess, with Devin on this one. Devin, give me 1 through 9 for your eras.
I don't even know if I can get to 9. I know my 1 through 3 is Attitude, Ruthless, and New Generation.
Okay.
Yeah. Attitude, Ruthless, and New Generation. Okay.
I would, and the reason I can't really go to the bottom row because I didn't really watch during the pandemic. I didn't watch the Thunderdome era. I know what it is, but I didn't watch it. I didn't see most of Roman's reign. I know that when I did start watching it, I enjoyed what I saw, but I don't really have much to compare it to at that point. So I can only give 1, 2, 3 for mine.
That's fine. BA.
I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go like best to until I can't name anymore.
Okay.
To me, the number one error will be the attitude error because besides the obvious, one, we did have a dominant black champion when he wants to be that, right? So I gotta give The Rock that due. The Nation of Domination, they were saying some stuff that I still haven't heard people that look like us say on TV, right? So I gotta hold them separately because of that. Secondly, will be the New Generation because that's my favorite champion of all time, Bret Hart. Third, I would go Golden, but I'm not. I'm going to give Roman his just due. That new era, he took that Thunderdome era that we talked that you just mentioned, and he just smashed that. He was still in the COVID era, and he brought people back to wrestling that left. People don't understand. Wrestling could have died during COVID because it's based off a live event. It's based off of people seeing it like live and the crowd interactions and things like that. It's not like the other sports where eventually you know that they was going to come back. No, wrestling could have died, and Roman stopped it. That and that bloodline and Jey Uso and Jimmy and eventually Sammy and all. He saved wrestling, bro. And to me, he gets all that credit because that was him and Paul Heyman and whoever else was connected to it. But that was their thing, and he saved it. So that'll be 3 for me. I will now go to the Golden Era because it's just the nostalgia part of being a kid, right? I still have that. And Macho Man / Macho King was one of my favorites. Then now that I'm starting to understand wrestling, we move forward. I'll go with PG era over Ruthless Aggression because Rated R Superstar, Randy Orton, and prime peak John Cena was just phenomenal. They had a phenomenal run. Edge wasn't supposed to be that good, and he carved out a lane, and it was just phenomenal for him to do that. I do that. And next will be Ruthless Aggression. It's just John Cena just took that over, so I gotta give the edge to the PG over that. But Brock was a phenomenal athlete. Kurt, we got Brock and Kurt pretty much like a young Brock and almost prime Kurt. Prime Kurt is reserved for TNA. So and then the last 3 I just don't care about, bro. I'm sorry. The reality era, I was not a yes guy. That pretty much got me out of wrestling. The Thunderdome era, Drew didn't do enough to bring me back, but Roman did. And we are now in the Renaissance era in which we talk about negatively every week. So those 3 can all get in the box, and you can throw some rocks in it, and somebody can go kick that box. I don't care.
Travis, what's your order?
I think I might be the only one that might be able to rank all these for me. So, of course, obviously, the Attitude Era got to be number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, I'm gonna give love to the New Generation, that era. Number 3, we'll go with the Golden Era. Okay. After that, I'm gonna go to the PG era for the 4th slot.
Okay.
5th, I'm gonna go Ruthless Aggression.
Okay.
Now, that Roman era though, like that the new era, that man, the coming of the becoming of Roman Reigns, the tribal chief and everything, like the tip of that era, that was basically like basically him just carrying a whole a whole group of wrestlers, really. Like those feuds that he had with Kevin Owens, all that stuff. Some of it was even in the Thunderdome, but I really was a big Daniel Bryan guy, so I'm gonna put that second to last. I'm gonna put the Thunderdome in front of the reality era, and of course the Renaissance era right now. That's dead last.
Jeez, Renaissance. So you think we in the worst era of wrestling right now?
Yes.
Everybody saying that, Devin. You agree too?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
As I was saying, this era right now is the
Damn.
worst era of wrestling.
I had that
Compared
question
to
as well.
what's on this,
I agree with you. I think this might be the worst era of wrestling ever. And that's not even a knock on like Cody Rhodes. It's just in general. But Queen? Oh, she unmuted, but I don't hear.
But yeah.
1 second.
Okay.
So I would say this is tricky because
Oh, I think
did
we lose you?
audio and video froze.
Yeah. All right. Let
just
me
want to throw out there real quick.
let me go.
Oh,
go ahead, there.
I just want to say Renaissance era. I'm calling it the Green era. That's all. That's all.
Yeah. Basically.
Well, Renaissance era is garbage.
Okay. Go ahead, Queen. I hear you. Renaissance era garbage. Man, we lost it again. All right.
My mic's keep dying. I give up.
Okay. Let me give my order then real quick. I'm gonna surprise y'all with this one. I think the best era of all time, I think it's the Ruthless Aggression era. Y'all tripping, bro. Y'all tripping, man. Like, so Attitude is incredible.
I said the Ruthless Aggression era was my favorite.
I love the Attitude era, and it is as far as like the top guys and getting Steve Austin and all of them. It still has some play on the new generation as well. Bro, the Ruthless Aggression era, we had young Cena, young Orton, and all that stuff. You had Brock Lesnar, you still Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, Edge was still there, these young Christian and all them stuff. The Hardy Boys, like everybody from the Attitude, the PG, they were all together and Ruthless. You had Kurt Angle and Brock and them running that like. I think the Ruthless Aggression, even some Rock showings, Mick Foley was still there and all that. Like, I'm fine. Ruthless Aggression era, I think, maybe the best wrestling era there is. Secondly, I'm going with the Attitude era. I think the Attitude era is the second best wrestling era. After that, third, I'm going to go with the New Generation era as third. Like that's really my favorite. That's what got me into wrestling, really. I know I was watching the Golden era and all, but Brett, that commercial and all of that little scene, the boy, that was my. So I remember the New Generation, even Brett wrestling Duke the Dumpster, Drosy and all that stuff, Drowsy and all that, like Isaac Yankem, DDS and all them guys, Haku. That was fine with me and all. I'm gonna go next with. I'm gonna go the PG era next. Yeah, I'm gonna go PG era. Then I'm gonna go Golden era. So what's that? 5? I'm at. Then I'm going to go. So I only had partial. So Thunderdome, I have no idea. So I'm not gonna rank that. I'm gonna have 8 of them because I don't know about the Thunderdome era at all. The new era, I only got the tail end of the new era, but it brought me back into wrestling. Like, so that was like major. I really wanted to watch it, seeing what's going on, saying, man, Roman's here and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go Roman Reigns after that, after the Golden era. So the new era. Then I'm going to go to the reality era. And because I'm not a big Daniel Bryan guy either, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and all that stuff. I'm not a big guy. I just started thinking it's too unbelievable. Like I like my wrestlers a certain way. I'm sorry to say that, pause, but it is what it is. And those guys just weren't the wrestlers I needed to see. Like they didn't make me feel. I didn't feel. I feel like I want to believe that a wrestler should be able to beat my ass, even though it's scripted and all that stuff. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a wrestler. A lot of them guys in that reality. I feel like I can get in the ring with him. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then the Renaissance era, I agree with you guys. I think it's the worst era of wrestling. This is trash. Wrestling is trash right now. They're just making money. It's trash though. It is this. it makes no sense. Triple H is the worst booker of all time. Like, it's embarrassing the difference between him and Vince McMahon. And I was so against Vince McMahon. He is horrible. He's making money. They're making a bunch of business deals. But other than that, this is a trash product. So I agree with you guys. This may be the worst. It's not maybe. It is the worst era of wrestling going on right now, the Renaissance era. Spearheaded by Cody Rhodes himself. Whoa, pearly smoking mirrors.
Yeah. And I think that just the fact that we're getting less creativity, but taking more money from us in every way possible is just a nail in a coffin. I think that's making it even worse.
$30 for Wrestlepalooza.
With ads.
All right, BA, bro. What was our tea brought to them by?
Playback.
Thank you to our
Great
friends
in every
over at
era.
Playback for this segment. Pause. If you're tired of the national media and the annoying ways they sometimes cover sports and other events, give the Glow Sun Production channel on Playback a try. We cover new and old school basketball, wrestling, and geek culture. And just recently, we've added boxing, mixed martial arts, anime, and even video gaming. So if you have time in your busy day, give our channel on Playback a look and check out some of our replays while you're at it. Another special shout out to our favorite at Playback. Back to the show.
Please follow us on Playback. It's absolutely free, you guys. You can download it, make yourself a free name, join us in the Playback rooms. We show all kind of sports. We started doing some NFL recently for Red Zone. We do NBA, WWEs. We do anime. We even show some movies sometimes there. So do us a favor, I should say. Go over there, create a new account, help us out over there. Ask for a VIP if needed. You can definitely watch Saturday Night Main events and AAA events over there. But also, Devin, before we move on, you want to talk about Discord real quick?
Yeah, we kind of we have a growing community over there right now, and every week we're showing Raw, SmackDown. We recently started showing NXT, and then the PLEs. We show all of them on there. So just come on over and join us, and we'll be happy to have you.
Yes, sir. Come join the watch party. It's fun, and ask us how you can watch at the party. No pirates. Let's move on, guys. Get to the questions and comments. And again, if you have any questions or comments for us, hit us with the @WTC. We'll meet you over there.
Sponsored by True Classic.
Always wanted to try True Classic, but hate shopping online? Keep watching. You've probably seen our ads online. Look, I get it. You're skeptical. I mean, is everything we sell really as soft and well-fitting as we say it is? If you need to try us before you buy us, True Classic now has stores nationwide. Visit one of these stores and you can fit, feel, and outfit a bunch of our customer favorites. So don't wait for shipping or worry about how much to spend. Visit one of our retail stores today and see the True Classic difference for yourself.
Shout out to DDP and True Classics. We do not have any questions or comments today. We got some comment by some guy named Devin in the comments. I don't know where he came from, but yeah. So if you do have a question or comment for us, if you didn't watch us live, I know a lot of folks see us afterwards for the reruns, I guess. We're in syndication. But definitely hit us up with any questions or comments you may have there. You can add the whole group, WTC. You can add any one of us directly, and we definitely answer all questions or comments on there as long as they're respectful. Other than that, do us a favor again. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button by Devin's left shoulder. Also hit that like button and notification bell so you're always notified when we have these new shows every Sunday here on We Talk Combats. Also, do us another favor while you're at it. A couple favors, actually. Follow us on our other channels, Cap and Crown for myself and Ro. We talk about all things new and old school basketball. We have shows every Monday and Wednesday evening, late night. So join the party over there if you're grown or if you're a kid as well. It's very friendly over there. But you should probably be asleep for school. But also follow B.A. B.A., Rel, Will, and Big J on Cuz We Geek, where they talk about all things geek culture within movies and television. They have shows on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So Tuesday evening, Saturday morning.
Tuesday night, Saturday mornings.
Yep. So join them over there. They're pretty respectful as well. More respectful than we are here when we talk combats. But also follow my guy B.A.
For sure.
Get Off the Damn Fence with the 695 crew himself, Larry and Calvin, where they talk about all things, like I say, in pop culture, but mainly sports. Talking about NFL, NBA, a little bit of wrestling, baseball, things like that as well. Definitely give them a follow over there. Good content. My guys over there knew them for a long time, so definitely support them. Also, while you're at it, follow all of us and all of our on all of our socials. They're all in the descriptions. You can click there, follow. We're usually very talkative on our socials. We'll discuss anything if you address us or approach us respectful, as I always say. Follow everybody's individual links as well. They're under our names right now, except for myself and BA. We're special today. But other than that, y'all, this is We Talk Combats, the best damn combat sports review show on YouTube and also the blackest. We'll be back next Sunday. Same combat time, same combat place. But until then, y'all have a blessed one, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.